Hi.
女士们、先生们，欢迎来到李世锋茶谈录。Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Tea with Li. Today, with great honor and pleasure, we are having Diana, Li from Poland to share with us her life story and experience on yoga. So Diana used to teach yoga for quite a long time. Now she has her own yoga studio and brand. So please, you are on the board to share us how and why did you choose yoga to be your path of life?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so first, thank you for having me in your YouTube channel. So I am very happy to share with you my story. My adventure, we can say, with yoga start on my studies. It was 13 years ago, I think. I was studying law in Wrocław at the Wrocław University, and at my second year, each student needs to pick some physical exercises to do, and also each student needs to get the note from this exercise. And I was looking what can I pick. So the offer was quite big because we can choose swimming, dancing, some fitness, volleyball, and so on. I was at that time I was thinking about dancing, but when I want to pick it, there was no more place for it. And I only found the place for yoga classes. So it wasn't a plan to go there, but there was a place. So I decided, okay, if I need to do this subject, so I can choose yoga. And to be honest, it was the we can say the love from the first move on the mat. And I start at the beginning with the younger style. So it is a style from a guru from India, which name was Iyengar, and this style is very slowly, with a lot of technical details regarding how you should move, how you need to put your legs, put your hands, and so on. So it was my first experience with yoga, and then after when I finished this subject in my studies, I was looking for yoga school in my hometown, so in Wrocław. I first was trying different styles like vinyasa, flow, like also this younger style, and then I found a school in Wrocław where we have the Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. And this method, I think, was the most, for me, beautiful method. And I just stay at this school and develop myself in this method, this line. And also I finished my teacher training in Ashtanga Yoga method. And this method came from another Hindu guru named Patabi Joyce from the city, which name is Mysore. And this style is more dynamically. We only stay for 5 breaths in the position. So we constantly move during our practice. We are moving with our breath. So each move is combining with the breath. Yes, so that was my my path, we can say. And I think after 9 years of practice, I decided to make a teacher training. And it was not my, you can say, my idea first that I will be a teacher. but my family, my friends, everybody was talking to me. You are so dedicated to this practice. You are practice every day for 9 years. Maybe you can start share your knowledge. And that's why I just decided to make this training. And after the teacher training, I started learning also. Mostly in my hometown, but sometimes also make some yoga retreats in my country, Poland.
Cool. And yeah, your story is somehow like for some reason that the universe give you a link to connect with yoga, because there is no space, there is no spot for dance, and you tried.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, we can
it's
say
nice.
like this.
Yeah, some people also, they say, okay, what should I do? Maybe I can try some exercise, and they pick up wushu and they fall in love with wushu. And for your side, you fall in love with yoga. It's quite nice. I used to practice a tiny bit Ashtanga as well, from also the student of Patapi Joyce directly. And also when I traveled to California in the US, that some the students of Patapi Joyce, the very beginning students, like Tim Miller and also the other master. Yeah, I met them, I practiced, had fun with them, share with them some technique between yoga and Kung Fu, we had some fun together. I enjoyed a lot Ashtanga. And I remember clearly the first few weeks of training, and because it was summertime in Bali, we are in the
shala. It was very hot.
Yeah, open space, but even it's hot, but because we are in the shadow. So when we breathe and hold the form, with very deep and strong breathing, and my body like steaming, like you make the steaming. I don't know if you have like experience about steaming bread. In Asia, we make a steaming bread and also steaming, the stuff. And my body like like a fairy tale, like something is changing. All the the steaming smokes go out. You become like a little misty. But anyhow, I enjoyed quite a lot. Okay, cool. You mentioned that you tried a different yoga style in the very beginning, like Iyengar style, and then later Vinyasa, and also the other flows. And so now, what is your style, and what you are focusing on of teaching and practicing?
So I am still practice Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. I think this is the method where is my own practice. We can say I practice in the traditional method because I practice 6 times a week. I get up at 6 o'clock. If I have enough time, I go to the shala and practice with other students. Sometimes when I don't have a lot of time, I just, put my mat in my apartment and I practice at my apartment. Yes, and now I'm practice, we can say, the first series, the second, and also the advanced A. So I mix it between days when I feel much stronger, then I do the advanced A. When I feel a little bit weak, then I teach the primary series. If my teachers bring me to also those 3 series, so now I can adapt to my we can say my day or my my feeling, how my body is feeling each day. I'm also teaching Ashtanga Yoga and Wrocław, but I also have another classes for climbers. And because I'm also climbing, I observed that a lot of climbers are very stiff. They don't like stretching. They like making exercise, a more powerful exercise, but they don't like a lot of stretching. Uh, so I start leading classes for climbers. On these classes, I also based on the Ashtanga yoga, but the classes don't look so traditional because the climbers are people who are very strong, so they don't need so much a powerful, strong position. They need to more calm down. So yes, so this is also what I am now leading in my city, and I see that a lot of climbers are interested now in yoga, and what is for me very important, that this community want also something more. They don't focus only on the asanas, so on the position of yoga, but they want to know about the breath, about the pranayama. So pranayama is, we can say, it's a have in self some breathing techniques, because prana is the energy which we have, and we want to learn how we can manage our energy through our breath. So I am happy that those people want to know more. At the beginning, each my classes, I always try to put some information about the history of yoga, about the philosophy. And this is also cool for me that the people want to hear about this and they are asking questions. So I am happy that, there's not only focus on the physical aspect, but also on the other aspects of yoga. So that's why I'm very lucky to have these people here, and I'm happy to lead the classes for them.
So you mentioned that you are offering the yoga training for the climbers, as you know,
Yes.
quite amount of them, they are quite stiff, right? And the yoga helps them to stretch for a while, also to be relaxed and to loosen the muscle. I used to climb in Ecuador with my friends, but you know, I was a newbie, so when I climb, I use my hand to climb, but I forgot to use my legs, and after that, I feel exhausted, and I feel my body, my upper body almost barely to move for let's say hours. So what the climber, I mean, gives the feedback of the yoga training. As you mentioned, they are strong enough physically and also muscularly part. But okay, after your training, what's the directly the feedback they feel, or after a few months when they climb, how is their processing of improving based on your training of the yoga?
So first, I think what the people are experience. Like I think each people, it's not only climbers, but also just the normal people who are trying yoga. That the first thing what they are observing, that they are feeling better in their own body because they don't feel any pain in their backs. So I think this is the first thing what they observe. They feel more relaxed also after the practice, but also have more energy. So I think the first thing what people are experienced on the first yoga classes. But I think that they also are experienced that that not every asana is for them very comfortable. So sometimes they need to, pick the ego and see that you need to give your body a little bit time to adapt to the practice, to asanas. So I think that that's the first thing what people are saying. But after some classes, they also mentioned that they feel that they can breathe better. They also feel that they can more control their emotion, their mind. And this effect, when you feel more relaxed after yoga, it's also because we are working not only with our muscles, but our nerve system, because we are moving our spine in some different direction, like flexion, extension, rotation. So when you move your spine, you also move your nervous system. That's why you feel more relaxed after practice. Yes, and also some of them told me that they when they climb and they feel nervous because you are high and when you look at the down it's scary sometimes and you just wanna tell to your partner, just put me down back to the ground. So they tell me that after the practice they can control such a thought. So they know, okay, it came a thought to my mind that it's scary. I want to go down, but I can manage with this thought, and I can say, calm down. We go further up, and also I think this is. Yoga gives you a tool to control your mind and also your emotion. And I think for a client, this is very, very important as such a thing to observe. Because I always, after the asana practice, when we lie down in Shavasana, so in the rest pose, we can say, I also leading for them some meditation. Sometimes we are using visualization. For example, I am telling them that they can now imagine a route in rocks which they want to achieve. They need to imagine all moves which they will do on this rock, and they also need to imagine that they are achieving this rule, so they go to the top. So it's, we can say, a positive visualization. So I think also this kind of method can help them to control the mind.
Perfect. It's so rare and on the other hand, so rare example how yoga can possibly help the climbers to be fearless, to reach to the top, which they suppose and they want to be. And I remember a clear example about free diving. So for the climbers, they go up. For free divers, we go down. I used to training quite a lot of free diving. So when we go down, to reach quite down of the ocean, sometimes the fear comes. You are worried. Okay, am I capable of holding my breath to come back? So yeah, that's part of the reason. Now, based on inspired by your example, I reflect quite a amount of the free divers they training you guys well. Maybe not only for their breathing, but also for be fearless.
Yes, and for the mind, because yes, as you mentioned, if you are diving, you can lose the control of your mind, because when you in panic and then you deeply in the water, it can be dangerous. So yes,
big dangerous. Yeah, of course. Cool. And so thank you for the wonderful story, and also from the direct feedback from your participants. So on the way of journey of yoga, have you ever get any injury? because injury is a big thing, in activities. For example, in Kung Fu training, many people, they get injured when sometimes one injury happened. And, the whole, processing of training gone. It takes years to recover. So have you ever get injury? If you have never get any injury, so how you make your practice properly?
So my story is a little bit different. I think maybe not different, but I was very stiff. I wasn't a person which was easy in doing asanas. And now it sounds a little bit funny for some people, because when they see me on the mat, or when they see me see my Instagram channel, they don't believe me. But I was very stiff person, because I wasn't do any sport before I start yoga. I was hiking, but this was what I was doing at the weekend. I just go to the mountains, but nothing professional or nothing so regular. So when I started yoga, my body didn't want to work with me. So everything came to me very slowly. But I was very disciplined and patient, I think. And for me, the asana wasn't the main point in yoga, because I understand that yoga is a whole big philosophy. And asana is only a one part, and asana should make our body, should healing our body, not make suffering in our body. So I was already have this in my mind. So when I was practice, I was always focused on my feeling. If I am, doing something which can hurt me, then I was a little bit moving. So in yoga, I never had any injury. Yoga always was a healing tool for me, because in yoga we have such a, we can say, a rule. Its name is ahimsa, and it's mean in English non-violence. So you shouldn't violence, so you shouldn't hurt any other people, other beings, animals, but also yourself too. So if you know this, then you practice a little bit different. But I see a lot of people who don't think about this, and they are hurting themselves because they want to achieve some posture or some asanas, and they want everything very quickly. So for me, it was a very long process, because I am practice 13 years. So that's why maybe I didn't have any injury. But I have an injury during climbing. So I just fell from the wall and I broke my arm. So there was a time where I couldn't climb. So my climbing was just, I couldn't go on the climbing gym, the rocks and so on. But then I have a yoga. So I adapt my practice to practice with only one hand. So I was trying to do asana, but with only one hand. And I think that this experience allowed me that yoga is really a healing tool, but we need to know how to use it. And also, you can do yoga if you can breathe, you always can do yoga. So only if you stop breathing, you stop doing yoga. So this time really learned me that this is a very nice tool for the human beings to heal themselves, but we need to know how to use it. and don't want to looking for a challenge in yoga or some competition with other students. If we are focused on this, we don't do yoga.
Cool, and thank you for sharing that your own experience on how to avoid any injury happened. And yeah, and you mentioned a very interesting part that if you can breathe, you can do yoga, and if you cannot breathe, and then you have to forget about it. So you mentioned that you use one hand to do some like asanas. So, and now how are your injury of that climbing assistant? You are totally recovered or still have something like say left?
So it was 2 years ago, I think. Yes. So physically, my arm is healed. I back to climbing, but what is I think more difficult for me, and I will need more time. It's my mind. So my mind still remember that I fall from the walls, and now when I want to do some move which is hard for me, and I know that I can maybe fall again, I don't do this move. So so I think that it stops me a little bit to doing more difficult stuff because the fear stays in my head. So now I working more with my mind, because the body is healed. I am back to training. I am strong like I was in the past, so physically, but now I still need to working with the mind and try to control it during some hard move for me, because forgetting about the fall is not easy now for me.
Sure, definitely. Why I ask you this about the injury, because also I injured my left elbow of the falling down in basketball game. So it was like 25 years ago. Until now, I still have a little problem. Not so serious anymore, but my left elbow is a little bit weaker than my right one, even. But yeah. Great story about how you're healing yourself by yoga. So now on the way of training yoga for about 13 or 14 years. So what you suggest like the people who are joining yoga training or they have dream to become a yoga teacher? So what you suggest they should do or should avoid?
Yes, so for people who are thinking about being a yoga teacher, first it's important to, if you want to learn something, first you need to have experience in this. So first you need a practice, a method, which you will be learning later. Because now I observe in my country, I don't know if it's a global trend or if it's only in my country, the people start their adventures with yoga, starting with the teacher training, and I think it's not a good idea. First, you need to practice. I don't know, at least 2 years, and then after this, you can go to a teacher training and teach other people. Because if you don't have experience in a method, how you can then share this method with other people, or how you can teach other people. So teacher training, which which is for 6 months, it doesn't make you a good teacher. It's you need to have your own practice on your mat, your own experience. So I think this is the most important thing. So first, the best idea will be finding a school, finding a teacher in your hometown, if you don't have a teacher in your hometown, there are a lot of online good teachers and also online classes. You can pick some and first try to practice. And if you feel okay, it's good for me, I am feeling this method, then maybe after, I don't know, 2 years, try to go on the teacher training. And my teacher says because we were questioned when we can start teaching or where is the good time for being a yoga teacher. So he says that when you are ready, the students will come to you because the people are feeling this if you have experience and if you really live with yoga and live like the yoga says. So the people will be know this. So I think that this is a good sentence. When you are ready, the students will come also to you.
Cool. You know what? In Kung Fu training, we said that when the students are ready, the teacher will appear. But you said that when the teacher is ready, the students will appear. It's similar, you know, it's just different paths to see it. Okay, the last one is, what does yoga mean to you now?
I think that we can say that my whole lifestyle, we can say. For some people, it maybe it's a little bit not normal because you know I am getting up early, do my practice. After my practice, I go to work, and after work, I am leading yoga classes. So for some people, it can be boring because you know I am also need to go sleep early, don't make any don't hang out so much with friends or go to some parties and so on. So I think yoga is just my whole life, and it's also for me a subject where I always discover something else, and it's not only on the mat. Where I can discover something about myself, about my feeling when I am observing my mind, when I am observing my mind also when I'm doing some difficult posture which are not comfortable for me. But I also, when I am reading some historical books or some philosophy about yoga, I always also discover something else. I also interest myself about how the science now is talking about the yoga, because now we have a lot of we can say a lot of materials, science materials about yoga, because the scientists are interested in the topic about the meditation also. So for me, it's also a very interesting topic. How we can, as the modern people, adapt to yoga to our lives, and what the people in the ancient time already knows, what we discover again. So yes, so I think that this yoga is for me just my whole life.
Cool. And you mentioned about how yoga being researched by the science, the modern science right now. You know, actually, some of my friends and students, they are doctors. So they study medicine, they are, you know, they give the treatment for their clients, and they training, you know, Kung Fu as well. So some of them, as you said, they put some, you know, like the sensors on the body to detect how the electronic wave shift, you know, in Kung Fu, also in Kung Fu meditation. So similar like what you are talking about in yoga now, how, you know, the scientists, they are researching on the meditation of yoga, and also maybe the, you know, the asana with breathing, how it goes. Yeah, I believe that by the modern tool and modern vision to see the traditional and ancient arts. It somehow maybe
Yes.
like day after day, step by step to open the truth, more truth, you know, or more, or kicking out a more mystery part and show real and down to earth, no matter yoga and kung fu to us. And once again, thank you very much for sharing your life story and experience on yoga. For any of you who are watching us, if you are looking for a yoga teacher, no matter you are in Poland or the other countries, welcome to contact Diana ID for her great experience and amazing course on yoga. And once again, thank you, Diana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Ciao, ciao. 再见。
Bye. Thank you.